Welcome to Gresham on the Go, a fast-paced monthly news show where we'll take you places, talk to interesting people, and give you the highlights you need to stay informed and get involved in our community. I'm your host, Jill Bradley. Today we're talking about water, specifically the future of our water supply in Gresham. We're building an independent, safe, and reliable water system for our community by the year 2026. Here to tell us about it are the leaders of the Cascade Groundwater Alliance from the City of Gresham and Rockwood Water People's Utility District. Welcome, Steve and Carrie. Steve, first off, why do we need a new source of water and what are the benefits?
Well, thanks, Jill. Many of you probably know that we've been a wholesale customer of the City of Portland for our water for many decades. And Portland supplies its water from Bull Run and also groundwater. A few years back, the number of hits of what's called cryptosporidium in the Bull Run source became such that the federal government requires Portland now to build a water filtration plant. That's going to be a very expensive plant. We analyzed the costs and determined it would have a big rate impact on our customers. So we looked at alternatives and we worked with Rockwood Water PUD to analyze those and determine that we have a really good water source here. It's the same groundwater source that the City of Portland and Rockwood and Gresham have been tapping for a long time as well, but we can expand that source to make the water more affordable for our customers.
So the Cascade Groundwater Alliance will be supplying groundwater. Why don't you tell our folks what that is exactly?
Absolutely. So groundwater is water that comes from the surface, either from rain or rivers or lakes, and it's infiltrating into the ground. And it ends up in porous layers deep underground, similar to how water might absorb into a sponge. And so these porous layers underground, which are formed with sand and gravel, form these aquifers. And that's where we are pulling the groundwater out of, kind of like you would take a straw and pull it up to the surface.
Now tell us, is it safe to drink?
It is, Jill, and again, we've been drinking this water in the City of Gresham, in Portland, and the whole Portland metro region for many decades. And we do have extensive water quality testing that we do on the water. We are incorporating treatment facilities into the water that we will be pulling out of the ground. So yes, it is extremely safe. Some of the other cities in the Portland metro region, as they're looking at alternative water sources, they're actually pulling water out of the Willamette River. So we believe that this deep groundwater aquifer is a better source for us.
It's a pretty big change. How can we be sure it's going to be great?
Well, Rockwood and Gresham have a very long-standing relationship, and we've worked together over many years, almost 100 years, starting in 1925 when Rockwood was first formed as a district. So we have further strengthened that relationship recently by committing to provide water from the ground together.
I think we're better situated now, once we go to our own groundwater system, to be able to survive an earthquake situation. Portland has a little older infrastructure and more susceptible to seismic events, where a newer system and our groundwater system are less susceptible to that. And we would become a provider in the area in such an earthquake. So now we go from the kind of the planning stages of this whole project to the actual construction stage. And we've recently drilled a well locally here at Kirk Park. Rockwood has drilled a couple of wells also. Most of these wells will come to this site, be treated, and then distributed out into our systems.